Today we are going to analyze the movements behind the basics of kicking a soccer ball. The three phases I'm going to take you through are 1. The approach, 2. The swing, and 3. The follow-through. I am going to be going through the motion, muscles being used, and type of action that is happening at 3 critical joints of the right leg, which is the leg that is in the video doing the kicking motion. The 3 joints we will be going through are 1. The acetabulo-femoral joint, which is known as the hip joint, 2. The tibiofemoral joint, which is known as the knee, and 3. The talocrural joint, which is the ankle. During the approach phase, the muscles analyzed at these joints are working concentrically in order to deliver the amount of power needed to enter the swing phase and to initially kick the ball as hard as possible. At the acetabulo-femoral joint, the hip is in extension. The muscles working concentrically at this joint are the hip extensors. At the tibiofemoral joint, the knee is in flexion. The muscles working concentrically at this joint are the knee flexors. At the talocrural joint, the ankle is in plantar flexion. The muscles working concentrically at this joint are the muscles that assist in plantar flexion.
Come on, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! All right.
The muscles analyzed at these joints during the swing phase are also working concentrically because this is the phase where the most power is generated in order to kick the ball as hard as possible. At the acetabulum-femoral joint, the hip is in slight extension. The muscles working concentrically at this joint are the hip extensors. At the tibiofemoral joint, the knee is in flexion. The muscles working concentrically at this joint are the knee flexors. At the talocrural joint, the ankle is in plantar flexion. The muscles working concentrically at this joint are the muscles that assist in plantar flexion.
I never fear death or dying. I only fear never trying. I am whatever I am. Only God can judge me now. One shot, everything rides on tonight. Even if I've got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it.
We are now at the follow-through stage. The muscles analyzed at these joints during this stage are working eccentrically to slow the leg and foot down and ultimately prevent it from swinging too high and hyperextending. At the acetabulo-femoral joint, the hip is in flexion. The muscles working eccentrically here are the hip extensors. At the tibiofemoral joint, the knee is in extension. The muscles working eccentrically here are the knee flexors. Lastly, at the talocrural joint, the ankle is in dorsiflexion. The muscles working eccentrically at this joint are the muscles that assist with plantar flexion. The last part of this video is to take you through a few injuries that can happen as a result of performing this movement. First, we're going to talk about hamstring strain injuries. These often occur when the contracting muscle is lengthened. This would happen during an eccentric contraction, which in this movement is during the follow-through phase. People with a previous history of hamstring strains are potentially at risk to get them again. In a study done on identifying athletes at risk of hamstring strains, performed by the Australian Physiological and Pharmacological Society, suggests that repetition of the eccentric contraction actually helps the muscle adapt to help and protect itself from further damaging it down the line. Now we will address posterior ankle impingement injuries. This is caused by forced plantar flexion. It is recognized by having pain in the posterior aspect of the ankle joint. Injuries of this kind in relation to soccer or kicking a ball are usually acute injuries. According to the book The Unstable Ankle, this injury can be caused by overuse or trauma in a collision sport such as soccer. Overuse injuries have a better recovery rate. In the case of kicking a ball, the action of forced plantar flexion squeezes the posterior talar prominence between the tibia and calcaneus, which is what causes the pain. Hyperplantar flexion is the main thing to look for when it comes to the etiology of this condition.
Because I'm happy. Clap along.